Many things have been unearthed throughout history, some of which are quite mysterious and have the capability of rewriting what we thought of the past and into the future. From new planets that are a lot like Earth to the Oafbared Sword, here are recent discoveries that might change history. Number 13. Dodecahedrons. Dodecahedrons are small metal objects that date back to the 2nd or 3rd century AD, and many of these strange things have been found in the former territories of the Roman Empire. Although these are found all over the Mediterranean, no one can really figure out what they're used for. Its strange design even makes some people wonder if it has extraterrestrial origins. About 100 of these have been discovered in places like the UK, Hungary, Germany, and France. They tend to be made of bronze, but the true mystery is its purpose. New theories seem to pop up all the time, with explanations ranging from candle holders, dice, glove makers, and even astronomical measuring. It's hard to tell. With such a bizarre range of possible uses, people have tried to prove their theories, and one person even showed how it could be used to make gloves. Which theory do you believe is correct? Let us know in the comment section. Number 12. Native bronze. Possibly the most mysterious artifact found in Alaska dates back to 1400 years ago. It's a bronze buckle found at Cape Espenberg that appears to have made its way there from China. This was well before the Bering Strait land bridge melted. Could the natives in this area actually have made contact with the Chinese? It appeared to have been older than the house that they had originally excavated, at least by a few hundred years, and metal crafting was never really a part of Inuit culture. Some believe that it's an ancient artifact that was dropped by a Russian explorer or a whaler. But if that's not the case, it could be evidence of an advanced trade route between Asia and Alaska during the Bronze Age. Number 11. The Oafbared Sword. Although axes were the most common weapons among Vikings, swords were certainly the fancier weapon to own if you were a Viking. Archaeologists are slightly baffled by how advanced Viking swords truly are, but especially with this one we see here. What was so strange about this blade was the rare purity of iron it's made from. It's believed the technology to forge metal this pure didn't exist until the Industrial Revolution in the late 1800s. This sword gets its name for the name written on it, which says Oafbared. This would be like branding for the blacksmith, and owning something like this would have been like owning a Ferrari in modern times. With an advanced design, it was made of a metal known as crucible steel, which requires iron ore to be heated up to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit into a liquid state. There are no impurities to this, and the blade is simply made of iron and carbon, which makes steel. The Viking on the battlefield with this sword would have certainly been a force to reckon with. Number 10. Oldest gold artifact. This tiny bead may not look like much, but some archaeologists believe that they may have uncovered the world's oldest golden artifact. In 1976, researchers unearthed golden jewelry off the coast of the Black Sea, but this one is maybe even older. This tiny bead found in Bulgaria could date back to 4500 BC and was found in the town of Pazardik. It only weighs 0.005 ounces, but is certainly a big discovery. The dig site was one of the first urban settlements of Europe of a people that were believed to have been of Turkish descent. It was eventually destroyed by hostile tribes who invaded this area in 4100 BC. Number 9. Exoplanet solar system. So as of right now, there's only one true place where we know intelligent life exists, and that's our home planet. Or that's what we're told to believe. But imagine a solar system of 7 different Earth-like planets all lined up right next to each other. It is certainly a reality, and in 2017, not just 1 or 2 Earth's planets were discovered, but an astonishing total of 7 exoplanets all orbiting a star named TRAPPIST. This is located about 40 light years away. Just in case you were wondering, that's about 235 trillion miles from planet Earth. So we probably won't be making contact with any life forms anytime soon. Is it truly possible that not one of these 7 planets couldn't sustain some kind of life form? It would almost defy all odds if there was no life here. Number 8. Burnt coal Bronze Age. Did Chinese civilizations know about fossil fuels before we once thought? Well, it's starting to seem like that's the case. Researchers found burnt coal near the ancient site of Xinjiang in one of the northwest regions of China near the border of Kazakhstan, dating back again to the Bronze Age. This discovery means that humans have been using coal approximately longer than 3,500 years ago. This is now the earliest known site that mankind has used this substance. Previously, the oldest use was in the Fushan mine in the northeast. So what's this mean and why is it special? Well, think about how revolutionary the use of coal was, and it helped advance energy production into the 19th century. This could have certainly been responsible for advanced technology in things like construction or artwork. Could the Chinese have had some other uses for coal that we still didn't know about? Number 7. Oldest noodle discovery. Who do you think was the first to invent noodles? If you guessed the Italians, you're wrong. The oldest known noodles were actually found at the Lajia archaeological site on the Yellow River in China, so it might have been the Chinese the entire time. No other remarkable noodle discovery even comes close, with these dating back to 2000 BC. These wonderfully preserved long noodles were found inside a sealed bowl that was buried 10 feet deep. These were made from a grain that only grows in China called millet. The fine art of Chinese cuisine goes back quite some time, and even preparing ones like these with today's technology would still be quite difficult. The archaeologists claim that this shows a fairly high level of processing and culinary sophistication. Number 6. The Bosnian Pyramid. One of the most mysterious discoveries in the Balkans is quite large and difficult to miss if you're in the town of Visoko, Bosnia. Many would assume it's just a hill. Some think it's much more than just that, and this hill is actually man-made and in the shape of a pyramid. If it was a pyramid, it would be twice the size of the Great Pyramid, and they believe it would date back to 12,000 BC. The more and more they investigate this site, the more and more they begin to believe it was actually man-made. Many experts believe that this is just a huge, cruel hoax. But would something so controversial be well accepted by mainstream historians? We encourage you to do a little research on your own for this one and take a look at it on Google Maps. Number 5. Pyramid in Indonesia. Could Indonesia be home to the world's oldest pyramid and not Egypt? Also known as the Gunung Padang site, this is the largest megalithic site in southeastern Asia if estimations are correct. Egypt's oldest pyramid was built over 5,000 years ago, but a mysterious structure found in West Java could have been built 6,500 years ago. Although it was discovered about a century ago, new technology seemed to add more unbelievable detail. It's covered by grass now, but underneath, you can see it's possible that these igneous rocks were once maneuvered in a fashion that would create a pyramid by ancient people. Many have felt that the site has been improperly handled by locals and the investigation is not accurate. Others have compared it to Asia's Machu Picchu, but it's relatively unknown about. Some don't even think it's a pyramid at all and feel as though it's a volcanic structure. What were these stones all moved with, and what was the purpose if they were moved? Number 4. The Yotan Death Mask. This golden death mask we see in this photo was discovered in the 1960s in the Philippines and is believed to have been made from the late 14th century to the early 15th century AD. Nothing like this has been previously recovered from this country. This one here was most likely imported from China to the city of Otan, which was a bustling trade hub at its time, so ideas and traditions were easily shared to the citizens of this city. Number 3. 32,000-year-old plant. The oldest plant in the world has been regenerated or cloned after a seed was found buried in ice by a squirrel near the banks of the Kolmia River. It was the oldest plant by about 30,000 years. The seeds were frozen in ice, with some immature seeds holding on to viable plant material that could be used to grow. This would suggest that permafrost can retain valuable details and artifacts of the past, and many items can be found in frozen soil are extremely useful to archaeologists. It's believed that the rodent was trying to store the seed for eating later on. Other seeds nearby were found that could suggest that the creature purposely damaged the seeds so they wouldn't grow, but these ones here were not damaged, but they were frozen. Number 2. Ancient stone balls of Costa Rica. Also known as Los Bolas, over 300 of these perfect spheres have been placed in western Costa Rica, and the reason for their existence is still uncertain. These stone balls can be over 2 meters in diameter and weigh up to 15 tons each. Most are sculpted from gabbro, which is an igneous rock similar to basalt. They're also found in limestone and sandstone. What do you think these mysterious stones were used for? Some claim they lead to the chief's compound. This definitely wasn't the only place where archaeologists have found mysterious stone spheres. Also found in Bosnia, there's a forest nicknamed the Forest of Spheres, which many believe holds the remnants of an ancient civilization. Could they possibly be the ones who built the Bosnian pyramid? Who knows? And number 1. Roman coin in Japan. In September of 2016, Japanese archaeologists managed to uncover Roman coins in the ruins of an old castle across the world. They came up with 10 bronze and copper coins that dated back to 400 to 300 AD in the Katsurin Castle located in Okinawa. This fortress was once the residence of a feudal lord who had extraordinary wealth. But was he capable of routes to Rome? This was the first time researchers have found Roman coins in Japan, and there is no link between these two civilizations during this period of time. Some believe that the coins reached the islands at some point in the Middle Ages when there was more contact between the West and the East. X-ray analysis of the coins proved that they were Roman. The image here also showed Emperor Constantine I and a soldier holding onto a spear.